So why is communication so critical to project management? Well, as most project managers and anybody who's ever received the output from a project or been part of a team know, perception is 90% of the battle. You're going to be dealing constantly with flux and changes to the organization, whether it's a new customer, a new strategic objective, maybe a new crisis that the organization is managing. You're constantly going to be fighting backwards sliding momentum because priorities are going to change from day to day, from week to week, and this will put pressure on your project and your project team. It's your job, through good communication, to keep the pressure on everyone to execute. There'll be resistance you will face. Some will be out in the open, others will be nonverbal, and you'll have to identify it, respond to it, listen to people's concerns, and address them. You'll do this through good communication methods and honest and transparent discussions and status updates. If you can't do this, sadly, there's going to be more and more pressure on your project that you won't be able to withstand, and your project may die a slow death due to lack of interest or lack of focus from the organization, or they're just moving on because you're not able to keep the spotlight on your project's goals and objectives. Conversely, if you become very good at this, now you're able to engage the organization, to keep the passion strong, and to focus the organization on achieving your project's goals and objectives by reminding them, why did we start this project in the first place? Where are we to achieving those goals? There's several best practices that we're going to talk about that you can deploy immediately and have impact right away from a communication perspective. First, at the start of your project, agree with your sponsor, your champion, and your team on what communication methods you will use. How frequently will you meet? On what day? At what time? These are things that you can establish at the beginning and then stick to them. Ask your sponsor and champion how they prefer to be communicated with. Do they prefer formal or informal communication? What type of frequency? These are all discussions that you should have going into the project. Also think about your stakeholders. These are people that are not necessarily involved in your project every day, but are going to want to hear the update on your status and where they can help. In all cases, think about bi-directional communication. And what do we mean by this? Well, you're going to be communicating the project status, any barriers that you experience, and any ways that people can help. But you want to hear from them as well. You want to hear, how's the project impacting them? What concerns do they have? Do they have ideas for continuous improvement? As you get more and more input from the people around you, your output will be much better, much more targeted, and you'll be less susceptible to the sways and the changes that the organization is experiencing every day. We're going to teach you how to use an elevator speech. And this is a very short piece of communication that you'll use as a powerful weapon with people that need to know about your project and people that can help you with your project. And then finally, you need to cater to your audience's needs. They're your customer. So listen, find out what would help them support your project and respond. And these are the communication best practices we'll be talking about.